So a while ago, in June, I wrote like this primer on Hardened Scales in-depth and sideboard guide. So basically, I gave a ton of a huge introduction to a lot of the small nuances of the Hardened Scales deck. And some of my thoughts, I did a lot of gaming in Hardened Scales before the LMS Copenhagen, which I unfortunately didn't top 32. I was one win short, but it just happens. Somebody has to get those placements. And I did pretty well in Malmo with Hardened Scales. So I played a lot over the summer Hardened Scales. So I think I got upgraded a bit my understanding towards compared to what I had before, right? So I thought I would make like a quick video talking quickly. First, if you have not read this, please read it. I think it's really good. Like I know I read it. I know it was the one that wrote it, and I'm sure there's some typos here and there, but it's a huge. It just covers everything. Metagame, mana base, deck, card choices, flavors of the scales, play patterns. We just kind of cover it all, right? So, I did pretty well in general with the deck. But there were some few things that I would like to talk about, and I'll give you a deck list that's a bit different. So actually, let's go over some of these new developments, I would say, of the Hardened Scales deck. So let's say the first thing that has changed and maybe most striking for a lot of people since I wrote like a huge paragraph on why you shouldn't play this. Splendid Drum. So I play a lot without Splendid Drum. And, I was basically not really using the card as its full potential. So I was only seeing Drum as a fail-safe for when your Urza Saga would basically, you have like 2 lands only and you would miss a 3rd land or you would need a 2nd land and your Urza Saga sacrifices itself. And that always felt like, in that position, you're kind of in a losing position anyway. And this is one of the functions of Splendid Drum. But the Splendid Drum, nicely enough, can allow you to have 5 mana turn 3, 5 mana turn 4. It can allow you to have even, 4 mana again, or 5 mana again on turn 5, right? Because you can basically play land. If you don't miss any land drops, you will just keep having lands. And it's also an artifact you can sacrifice to Ravager. You can make white with it to make Sebas fly. And it's in a way, when you're playing a deck like this one, where it has 16 2-drops, having a way to like speed up your curve somehow really comes up. So a lot of times I would fetch as a Sebas or a Nozzlis. It's actually nowadays I'm fetching a Splendid Drum to be able to like bomb in my hand, because you have 5 spells in hand. And let's say you have 5 spells in hand, and Urza Saga just triggered, and let's say you have a land. You cast 2 of those spells and you're left with 3 spells in your hand, and you're left with 3 lands. What's going to happen next turn is you may draw another spell, and if you don't draw a land next turn, you'll cast only 1 spell again. And you'll be back to being able to only cast 1 spell per turn. If you have Splendid Drum and you have 3 lanes, you can double spell on turn 4, on turn 5, and forever afterwards. And worst case scenario, you can be sacrificed to Ravager, which will, in my mind, be a good thing, right? Because you can get contest. Splendid Drum also opens up possibilities of turn 3 kills that are not otherwise available without it. So you can play Saga on 1 and have 4 mana turn 3, which allows you to, for example, play a Ravager and activate Enigma's Nexus. It can be a kill. It also allows you to kill turn 3 a lot more often when you go something like, for example, one kill I did in Copenhagen actually is I had a Scales and a Ravager and Enigma's Nexus. On my turn, I draw a land, play Splendid Drum, tap Ravager, play the Ozlis, sack the Splendid Drum, sack the Ravager itself, and then make a lethal Enigmas, right? So it really opens up these like faster kills and these ramp sometimes. And it's not much worse than a land, most of the time, at least. So basically, I got 1 land and I play 1 Splendid Drum. Just long story short, if you just want the results, just play Splendid Drum. Then the other development I made, like these are like 4th Dwelling Jar or 4th Patchwork Automaton. I added the 1st Patchwork Automaton because I feel there's so many matchups where Patchwork Automaton just kind of owns. It's like your best card. And some matchups is bad, but the matchup is just good. It's so good to go Patchwork into Patchwork, for example. That is super good. Also, Splendid Drum allows you to, accelerate more. And interestingly enough, one of the latest developments, something I really didn't even touch on this, is the inclusion of Jensen Gardens. So I'm going to take a sip. What's the deal with Jensen Gardens? Well, again, 16 2 drops. Patchwork on turn 1 is very strong. And going something like Orthosaga turn 1 is extremely strong too. So it allows us to basically to steal the play at a small cost of having a colorless land. It comes up in 1 in 15 games, so those 1 in 15 games that it comes up is oftentimes a win. So I think it's the pain is low enough for me to guarantee playing 1 Jensen Gardens. So I got 1 Rooster Liquor for Jensen Gardens. That's I don't think I'm going back. This is the truth, guys. You should play a Jensen Gardens with Hardened Scales deck, especially now that we're playing 16 2 drops and we're playing Orthosaga. Being on the play is tremendous importance right now in Modern. And having this 1 in 15 games where you're on the draw and you steal the play, it's just wonderful. And the 1 card you exile sometimes doesn't matter much. It also fixes your mana when you do have when you do have it with a lock counter on. So from that point on, you can cast all your spells basically for free. It's fantastic. Don't cut it. I think it's a really, 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 really good addition. And then 2 Boseijus. I'm not sure where I was with Boseiju in here, but I'm pretty sure I was only playing 1. Sorry. Yeah, no, I was already playing 2. So yeah, 2 Boseijus. The Boseiju is just fantastic. It makes you win games you shouldn't win otherwise against Hammer, against Titan, against Eldrazi-tron if you play against that, against Prism-tron, against any kind of Tron, basically. It just gives you so much game against Orthosaga decks. It's just really good. And it's just a green source, guys. It's super good, super good. Just I wouldn't play less than that. And on the sideboard, I've been trying to run a Foul, but I didn't love them so much. I could see myself going up to 3 Tamiya Safekeeping and getting 1 Unlicensed Herbs, because it seems that it is basically the case right now that there's a lot of Exile-based removal with Leyline Binding, so Tamiya Safekeeping looks to be pretty strong in those matchups. And yeah, but I would probably just cut a 1 Unlicensed Herbs for that. And you can see I'm playing again a Relic of Progenitus, and even those I said here that I didn't like Relic of Progenitus. The reason for it is Herbs is extremely strong versus Morktide and other graveyard decks, but against Living Ants specifically, where you need a fast response that you can tutor with Saga, and against Death Shadow, Relic of Progenitus is a lot better. So when I wrote this article, there was no Death Shadow in Modern; it had extinguished. So I recommended cutting Relic of Progenitus, but now that there's some shadows coming back, I think it's a fair thing to have. Also because it helps in these, dredges and, Living Ants and all those matchups. So I think splitting your graveyard hit, 1 Relic, 1 Herbs is a good idea. I will be playing, as I said, 3 Tamiyas right now and probably only playing 1 Herbs. So this is what I would do for the sideboard. You can screenshot it. So these are the changes basically. I mean, it's not huge. It's not, it's not crazy. We're not really going crazy here, but it's slight improvements. I mean, it's not me that made the changes. We in the Discord, the Hardened Scales Discord, I don't remember. I think it was Bullen who came up with the change in the Jensen Gardens, so I recommend that. And Modern right now, it's dominated a little bit by, I wouldn't say there's a dominating deck, because Morktide for a while looked dominating, but now they put the Leyline Binding, which is like a super good answer to it, like a 1-man answer to Morktide. And then for a while it seemed the Living End was too strong, but Living End can be hated out, and it has been hated out, kind of almost disappearing from 4 colors, also not that popular. There seems to be a lot of this red-black scam, red mid-range deck, but I think we do relatively well against that deck because we are a North Saga deck. So it seems to be not a consensus right now on what is the best thing to be doing in Modern. So I think I like to keep my options open, play 1 of each Artifact Hate pieces, 3 Tamiya Safekeeping, 3 Dismember, 3 Nature's Claim. Super simple, In the matchups where you want removal, Dismember is obviously your friend. The matchup is a lot of exile, Tamiya is your friend, and any artifact-based hate matchup, you want Nature's Claim. So I think 3 of it is great. I would never, one thing you should not do right now is play Natural State. Natural State really sucks because Leyline Binding, you cannot Nature's Claim. And it's possible that you're playing against a deck that plays both Leyline Binding and some artifact you want to destroy, or even at some point that we want to bring in some kind of Nature's Claim effect to have an answer to the Leyline Binding, if we're also expecting, for example, Leyline of the Void. So like a deck that plays 4 lands of the board for land bindings, Nature's Claim seems guaranteed. Seems like a good choice. I don't play Nature's Natural State. Also, Nature's Claim, being able to claim your own stuff and gain life is super, super strong. But okay, this is what I would do if I was going to a tournament. If I was in Paris right now, this is the list I would be playing. So since I'm not in Paris and I want to have a bit more fun, Dominaria United gives us a pretty cool card called Meria, Scholar of Antiquity, which is, oops, it's not this list. This is the list. No, sorry. This is the list. So this is what I would recommend a list. So this is the list I've been playing around a lot with. It's been super fun. It's a little more on the red than other lists because it has both Meria and Experimental Synthesizer. Synthesizer works really well with Meria because it can be tapped. Also works generally well with the deck. I really like Synthesizer. This card. I've been really having a lot of fun playing it. You should think about this card as a 3-drop. So this is a slightly bigger version of Hardened Scales where we have a lot of 3-drops and a lot of 2-drops. Kind of very similar mana and similar cyber, basically the same cyber, just playing Galvanic Blasts instead of these members because we have more red. I think this is a cool version. We forego 1 colorless land in exchange of having more red, and I think that's a very small change. And Meredith is very strong. Is Mary good in Hardened Scales? I don't know. I played her, and sometimes it's been amazing. Sometimes it doesn't do anything, but of course you're allowed to cut her and just put on the side, right? One thing though I'll probably be playing here, it will be the third Osilis, but instead of maybe the second worker, but that that can be toyed around with. So that's probably one thing I would change of this list. I would just do something like this. But yeah, in general, if you want to have some fun, try something new, this is what I've been playing a lot of, and it's been pretty fun. I recommend you give it a shot. I will upload some videos of me playing this deck list soon. But yeah, don't expect Meria to break scales. Actually, I think maybe Meria is not it's not its best in scales, even though it's a pretty good card. If you want to have access to some more extra lists that I've been making these days, I worked a little bit on this one, which is, I call it Naya Good People. The reason is that we're playing, this is Naya, yeah. So we're playing Synthesizer, Portable Holes, which can be tapped to Meria. We're playing Patchwork Automatic and use Mist to kind of like take advantage of all these artifacts we're playing, Galvanic Blasts for reach and removal. So it's kind of a mid-range deck. I think the deck is cool, but I don't know if it's like a modern level, power level, you know what I mean? I think it's cool, but you can also you can sometimes draw too many of your worst cards, right? But we get to play a ton of stuff. I was thinking of having a version like this that was playing Michiko's Reign of Truth or something like Cranial Plane, but still I think this version is cool enough. It's cool enough. There's some work that can be done on this, I think, to make it even better. And then I had this Naya, like the more Affinity list with Meria. Meria in this list is really strong. This is the strongest that Meria has felt, except the list I'm going to show you in a second. This list basically is Affinity. I've been going through many iterations. This is the latest one with Patchwork Automaton. And basically the idea is that you just, Meria can tap any of your artifacts, including Darcy Citadel and your artifact lands, to draw cards. So you play Meria and you have a board. You can draw like 2-3 cards very quickly. And a lot of your cards in Affinity kind of cast themselves. So almost all of these cost 1 or 0 mana, right? And then a lot of these cost all 1 mana. So you have a lot of your deck just gets basically cost 1, like when you have enough artifacts, right? Cost either 0, 1, or 2 mana, right? So it's pretty easy to draw a few cards and play them actually, or remove lands from the top, etc. So this has been a super cool list. I would play a couple of Mystic Forces in the Cyber for the more grindy matchups, and it just overall it seems to be pretty good. I haven't had the stellar results with it yet. I think I was playing too many cards that are good with Meria, and then I think this is not needed. You just need to play Meria as your top end, basically, and not play more top end, and instead focus on being a bit more aggressive. So this was a cool list, but I think where Meria is probably having, or will have the biggest impact is in something like this. Magic Gates already posted a video on this, and I ran a league with it, and Bullen has been destroying it completely with this version. Basically, there was a list, a 5-0, and then they made a lot of changes. Bullen made a lot of changes to this. So the idea is that top the Sword combo, that Sword of Nika and top the Foundry combo with Ursa, as you probably know, you make infinite tokens, infinite life, all that. But you can also it does exactly the same combo with Meria. So both of these make like 1,000,000 tokens, and it's really strong. Normally engineer, Stoneforge Mystic finds you a sword. Only engineer can also do the top of foundry. And Portal Hole, Esper Sentinel are just generally good cards to have access to, basically. And you know, the artifacts you can tap to Marion, tap doors, etc. And Galdar is kind of free in this deck because with these cards you can basically cast it very easily. I mean, you know, it also makes the Stoneforge Gem a removal magnet, which is always super good when you're playing super impactful threats like Maria and Urza, right? Of course, another saga with 4 colors is a bit sketchy, but thanks to Triumphs and thanks to like all of these cards being artificial, so Carnosaur is actually fixing your mana, it's not that difficult to cast your spells. I haven't been really screwed by mana that much, and you can get, you know, of course, Spin Drum of the Saga to help you cast whatever you're missing. On the sideboard, Foil Land Bind is the new card that I think I would call it the Scourge of Modern. 1 mana, remove anything, because it has domain, and basically costs 1 less for each basic land type you control. And it does any non-land permanent, which is super, super strong, because 1 mana is really not a lot. Then the fairies and hate artifacts for, you know, the matchups where they're good. Control, Cascade, etc. Metal Rebuke for the combo deck. Now by Moon either for Titan, which can be a decent choice, or also for any, you know, Hammer deck, Skills deck, whatever that's playing Saga. So I'm not in love with Up and Moons, but sometimes they're kind of the needed. You can also play them against Strong, so they have a little bit of flexibility going on. And yeah, this is the video, guys. Let me know if you enjoy this kind of video, a bit more theoretical, a bit more talking about the deck lists. But yeah, these are my updates to the sideboard guide. This is the competitive deck list I will be playing right now. And let me know if you try it. Let me know in the comments if it works for you and if you win a lot of matches. And if you don't win a lot of matches, I'm sorry. You just need to get better at the game. No, I'm kidding. You will be luckier next time. One thing I want to say is, like, I've lost a lot before I started winning. So just don't worry, guys. Lose a lot and one day you will start winning. I can promise you that. It's very difficult to win if you never lost. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.